The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
It's a Neverland Clubhouse, yeah, yeah, yeah. Think of all that we will share. Disney updates and fandom will take you everywhere. It's Courtney and Kelly, two sisters that will be together. Oh, 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 join our Neverland Clubhouse, yeah, yeah, yeah. Two is twice as nice as one. Memories with friends and family, everybody is welcome. It's Courtney and Kelly, two sisters guiding you through Disney. Together, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 17th episode of the Neverland Clubhouse. I'm Kelly, and now please welcome my sister, Courtney. How was your week, Courtney?
It was so good. I was listening nonstop to the announcements from San Diego Comic-Con and all of the Marvel shows and movies that we're getting. I'm so excited for these next phases. And the first look of She-Hulk, which is coming out in the few weeks. I'm so excited.
I know we got some trailers, some announcements of new movies. It's going to be great. All right. And please welcome Sarah to the podcast. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, you guys. I'm excited to be here. And you guys went on a big trip. So I'm just going to sit back and listen while you tell me all about it.
It was a doozy trip. So, yeah.
Very, very big.
Well, we want to welcome everyone to the Neverland Clubhouse. This is the Disney podcast where we go to different park lands to share Disney stories, news, and what's going on with Disney Plus. We are your tour guides through Disney fandom.
On today's episode, we will be flying over to Walt Disney World as we will bring a trip report for mine and Kelly's June trip to the most magical place on Earth for its 50th anniversary. So let's hop on the airplane and head into the Magic Kingdom.
All right, ladies. So you haven't been to Walt Disney World since February of 2020. And now you just went there for, was it 10 days?
Yeah, I think it was 10 days, 11 days.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that must have been amazing. Like, okay, so first of all, how is that going? Have you ever been on a trip that long?
Yes.
Okay.
Only to Walt Disney World.
But only to Florida.
Okay.
So our very first trip to Florida was a 9-day trip. And then we decided we needed an extra rest day. So then our next trip was 10 days. And then this trip, we were just like, well, we had booked the Wish and now we weren't going on the Wish. So we just rebooked the whole trip for, I think it ended up being like 10 nights, 11 days.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So going into that, like knowing you have that long of a time of a vacation, like how do you feel about that? Like, is that exciting? Is that daunting?
I was super excited.
Yeah, I think we were excited. I think we were super excited to go during a new time because both of our Florida trips had been during end of February, March. And going in June is a whole different experience, as we will tell you. For better or for worse.
Can't wait to hear about that.
Yes, it's just me and Courtney. We take off on our sister vacations, we call them.
Sister vacay.
It's not as daunting as you think, but when you get tired, it's really nice to kind of say, I have another day here.
Yeah.
And I don't need to watch the fireworks today because I can watch it next time, or I don't need to ride that necessarily right now because it has a 120-minute wait. Or
if you are soaking wet,
which did happen. So it's nice to have that long of a trip and not feel like we have to cram so much into so little time.
Well, plus, okay, so you're going to Walt Disney World. It's 2022, which means they've had time since the pandemic to introduce and implement a lot of new attractions, dining experiences, shows. It's the 50th anniversary. So let's go through all of this new stuff, but let's start with transportation, because one of the things that's kind of a is that there's no Magical Express anymore, which whisks you away from the airport to Walt Disney World for free. So,
Right.
what
And they took care of your luggage. You didn't have to
Yes.
lug it.
that's true too.
I said to Courtney, I think we were on our way back on our transportation, and I said, Courtney, I would pay anything for the Magical Express to come back. Just take care of the luggage.
Yeah. Now you do have a couple of options. There is the Mears Connect, and then there is the Sunshine Flyer. Now they've brought back minivans. I don't know if they take you to the airport though.
I mean, Uber and Lyft is basically your other option.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The
So what did
Sunshine-
you guys do?
We took the Sunshine Flyer.
Okay.
And this is another company. They're exactly like Mears Connect. They're big charter buses, but each one is wrapped like a 1920s railroad, like a train.
It was so
And
cute.
It was cute. I mean, I think the website, when I like read it, it made it seem like it was more of an experience than it was. I
Right.
mean, they played some like nondescript, like it wasn't a Looney Tunes and it wasn't a Disney cartoon. It was just like this nondescript cartoon with all about trains. And there was
That's cute, though.
different cartoons about different trains. So you were immersed in train things, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
Okay.
as immersive as I thought it was going to be.
And it's
Um,
only about $1 less than Mears Connect. I think going both ways is $1 less. I think Mears is like 17, and I think Sunshine was 16, somewhere along those lines. So
Okay.
it's not much of a difference. However, my favorite part about it was we had an almost empty bus,
Ooh.
and we only made we made 2 other stops other than our stop. So the guarantee on the Sunshine Flyer is that they get you to your hotel within an hour of landing. So I think Mears Connect, I saw a lot of people on that bus, and who knows how many hotels they had to stop at for all those people.
Yeah. And the only reason why more people are booking Mears Connect is that is the company that did the Magical Express. So it's the exact same buses, it's the exact same like stuff as it always was, except now you have to pay for it. I would recommend booking the Sunshine Flyer. You just go to sunshineflyer.com.
Okay.
And yeah, it's they're all at the same like terminal like level.
Yeah.
They're all there. So
Okay, great. All right. Well, one of the things you guys did, and I know you can take this is a very special tour you can do of the Magic Kingdom, and it's called Keys to the Kingdom Tour. Now, is it just the Magic Kingdom, or is it?
yes.
It is just the Magic Kingdom. Okay. So, can you tell us about this amazing tour?
I was in heaven. It takes you all the way around Magic Kingdom. Our tour guide was wonderful. He was so knowledgeable. He took us around and he made it seem like it was a movie. He called Walt the director, Roy was the producer. The windows on Main Street were the credits of the movie, and it was at the front of the movie like it was in the old days. I loved every single thing that he did. But yes, it takes you around Magic Kingdom. He gives you the backstory. He talks a lot about Roy Disney, because Roy Disney is the one that went ahead and with the plans of Magic Kingdom after Walt died, because it opened in 71 and Walt died in 66. So it is more Roy focused. They basically take you down Main Street, and then the funnest part was we got to go on the Jungle Cruise, and we were there pretty early in the morning because we started at an 8 a.m. tour, and we got to be in Adventureland before rope drop. Like, so all these people were
Walking
looking
into a nearly empty Adventureland.
Oh,
was
yeah.
so cool.
with everybody behind a rope drop looking at us like, what are you doing? Why are you cutting? Why do you get to go in there? Because that's where they hold people. And then we got to go on the Jungle Cruise, and our guide used to be a Jungle Cruise skipper and he actually took us on a boat, but we didn't get to hear the regular Jungle Cruise skipper
Ooh.
spiel. He like started telling us behind the scenes stuff about the ride. And I've never even even when I did walk in Walt's footsteps, like they just don't do that. They just like they tell you about it and then you go on the ride. And this guy actually took us and like commandeered a boat, and he overtook the speaker and he just like told us all the scene, like these stories of the Jungle Cruise.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have like the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour? We've done that. Where they give you like earphones to
Yes.
hear
Yes.
Walt's
Mhm.
voice.
Well,
Did
no,
do
they
that
didn't
here?
play anything. No, they did not play
Okay.
anything from Walt or Roy, but it was mainly so that we could walk. We didn't have to like hover in a group the whole time.
Oh,
We could hear him while we were walking down Main Street. Like
Okay.
it was just so that his voice didn't get worn out. And the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour, like the Halloween tour, they all use them so that you can hear them without them having to scream and in the busy park,
right. Well, this Jungle Cruise, like that sounds amazing. And I know a lot of these tours you get to ride other rides. Did you get to ride anything else?
The only other ride we rode was Haunted Mansion. He did talk to us about it while we were standing at the Liberty. But so he would talk to us, and we had this like fantastic view of the mansion from where we were standing underneath the landing of the ship, and then we got to go on the Haunted Mansion through the servants' quarters door.
Oh,
Yeah, they have a servants' quarters door too, and it's
Wow.
only reserved for like
Through the
VIP.
back.
fancy.
Yeah.
It's really
And then during it, you do get to go backstage. And
That
it
was
was
my
very
favorite part.
hot the day that we went. So,
so
and it was all open. We didn't have any covering. So when we went backstage, and we went back by Splash Mountain.
Yeah, so we went back by Splash Mountain, and you could see like the show building, which is huge, and you can see all the water tanks and stuff for Splash Mountain. We walked by the parade, like where they house the parade floats,
because they keep them all
And-
indoors. Like even the Festival of Fantasy parade floats that they use every day, they keep them indoors, and they have to put them away a certain way.
They
or
only fit
won't
one way.
fit.
Yeah, they only fit one way.
Yeah.
So they
That's
said
fun.
they said that even if a parade float can't go out that day, like it's broken or it needs maintenance, they still have to take it out of the shed and put it back in the shed the same way that it came, because it only fits one way.
Yeah.
But
And
but the coolest part was that it was actually open when we walked by.
it's not
And
always
the
open.
float, the float that was out to us was the dragon. It was Maleficent.
Yeah. We got to
Yeah.
see her really up close.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you take pictures, or could you?
We
Probably
could not take pictures
Okay.
at this point. So
When you're off stage, they call it on stage and off stage. When you're
and
off
actually
stage.
throughout the whole tour, so that people don't
backstage.
get confused, you're not allowed to take pictures at all.
Oh, yeah. Stupid
Except
people
for-
getting confused.
And then we got to eat at Pecos Bill's
Ooh.
and had some very spicy Mexican food.
Ugh.
It was very good. But yes, Courtney didn't like the spice.
And then we got to go. The last part of this tour is in the Utilidors.
Ooh, and this is the underground
Yeah.
of Magic Kingdom, basically.
Where all the cast members go to walk to the different lands.
So how long were you down there?
Down there,
I would say good like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
to
Wow.
an hour. It was our last part of the tour. So the tour was like a 5-hour tour, and I think it was around 11:30ish. And like the last part of our tour is mostly in the Utilidors. We just had to walk to Fantasyland, and then that was it.
Wow.
But the Utilidors was really fun. I get so excited because we saw like them going up in the elevator to do the castle show and all of that, and we saw like the costuming room where they all pick up their costumes. We got to peek into there, and
I think we saw like a
just-
Cinderella costume, and I think a Tiana costume.
Yeah, we saw a lot of princess costumes in there, and they have one like in every size.
Did you see any boxes where perhaps maybe like a Mickey head or something?
No. We didn't see any boxes like that. But we did see like them walking around with their like makeup on, but
like their makeup and hair was done, but they weren't in costume yet.
Yeah,
we did see that. So you could kind of tell who they were who they were going to be. Yeah, who they were going to be. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
And then, he ended the tour with I literally was in tears.
I was crying here too.
Yeah, because he ended the tour in this one room in the Utilidors, and it had like everything that we had seen on the tour, and there was a picture of Roy on opening day giving the speech opening up Magic Kingdom, and he says that Roy stepped up to the podium and started telling his speech, and then he stopped himself and he took a step back. And he whispered something to somebody next to him. And what it ended up being was he wanted them to go get Mickey Mouse and have him be right next to him, because he said if he can't have Walt, he needed Mickey there with him. And right now, just saying it, I'm getting chills. And he said, and that is why Mickey is at every opening, because if Walt can't be there, Mickey has to be. So.
That's so sweet. Oh my God.
Our tour guide was insanely good. He was great at telling the story, because that's what you want in a tour guide. You want him to tell the story of Walt Disney World or whatever place you're touring. And I got chills so many times. He told us personal stories about him and his wife meeting at Walt Disney World
and proposing to her.
He brought us to the spot where he proposed to his wife.
Yeah.
He cleared it with Disney. It's all good that he could do that. Aww. And he just had his child, and now they can bring their child to a place where they met and fell in love. And I just, like, that's just, to me, like, it's so heartwarming, and I had such a good time on the tour. It was so worth it to the extra money to pay for this tour. And I'm really happy that we had the time to do it, because a lot of times, you only have one day or a couple of days in Magic Kingdom and you want to do everything. But because this was our third trip, we were really like, okay, we can see doing the 6-hour tour. And I really wouldn't regret it. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. Awesome.
I wouldn't recommend it for your first time there. Like, if you're going there for the first time, take it in Magic Kingdom. Just take it all in. But like I said, if you go back, like if it's your third or your fourth, or you're just looking for something new to do, definitely look into the tours.
Or if you just love the backstage stuff, like my parents took this tour several years ago, and they just loved it, because they're not super hard theme park people, have to go on every ride. They would much rather just take in the behind the scenes stuff.
Right. And me, I can't get enough of behind the scenes. I love it. I think it's the greatest thing in the world to go back there and see everything. So, and then at the end, you get a little place card, and then it has the key to the kingdom.
Oh, it's a little key with a Mickey head on it, and
the castle in the middle.
So cute. And it's about 2.5 inches long, I would say. Yeah.
And it's
so
a pin.
cute.
It's like a pin.
Oh,
that you can put on here.
Nice.
And it says Disney's key to the kingdom. So everybody gets a key to the kingdom.
You get a key and you get a key. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And I believe the tour was $114
per
person. 6 hours per person.
Yes. Not bad.
But that includes
lunch.
Yeah, it includes lunch and includes the little trinkets. And they did give us water and snacks and stuff in the beginning. So you do get quite a bit for your money there. And like I said, like, the tour guides are going to make it fantastic for you. They know how to do a good tour, and ours was fantastic. And that was day one.
Yeah, that was day one.
That was
I
day
know.
one.
We've been talking about 45 minutes on day one. Amazing. All right. Well, so now I want to hear about the end of your first day.
Oh
Because
my
it's
gosh.
still been talking for 45 minutes.
It's
So
still
what
only
did you
be day
do?
one.
You did something very exciting. Tell me about
So
it.
because we had never seen Enchantment, we were looking for something to kind of like give us a good view of the fireworks. And they have the dessert parties over in Florida. They have a pre dessert party, they have a during dessert party where you can sit down and watch the fireworks, or you have a post dessert party, and they range in prices depending on when you go. So I was looking and I was like, well, we've never seen Enchantment. Let's book a dessert party. So we booked the post dessert party. So you would watch the fireworks in a special area and then you would go have dessert. And I was thinking that was a good thing because we had been on the tour all day, got in a couple rides, and then we can like chill out and have some dessert. And oh my gosh, this was fantastic. We sat down in
So where
the
is
little-
this, by the way? Yeah.
It's in the hub, and
Okay.
it's kind of back of the hub. It was
Yeah.
like in
So
in,
you're on the grass.
Right.
The
Okay.
grassy
These
part?
grassy areas that are kind of roped off otherwise,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you do have
and-
to check in at Tomorrowland Terrace,
Oh.
which is a restaurant first, and get a wristband, and then you can go into the party, the dessert party viewing area.
So at this point, you're not eating anything yet, right?
No.
This
Mm-mm.
is, you're just watching and you have this great view. How was it? Was it crowded or was there enough room for everyone?
I think there was enough room for everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
was kind of spread out,
Okay.
sat down.
I didn't feel like
Um,
smushed into this like little area
no.
or anything.
And when we stood up, it was very spread out. Very
Okay.
spread out. Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. All right. But I want to hear about the desserts now. So do you move locations then?
So then you go back to Tomorrowland Terrace and they sit you down. When you do the dessert party where you're eating during the fireworks, that is where you sit, is Tomorrowland Terrace restaurant. And then what I didn't realize, because the pre-party and the post-party is a little bit cheaper than the one during, I didn't realize I thought it didn't come with alcohol, but it does. You get
Ooh.
alcoholic beverages, you get non-alcoholic beverages, and you get an array of small little desserts. It's a buffet, so you can take as much as you want.
Oh,
The drink is as much as you care to enjoy as well. And it's basically small versions of a bunch of 50th anniversary desserts from around the resort. So it could be, you could find it in Epcot. I think there was an apple crepe that was the 50th from Epcot that was over here. And they're just like tiny little versions of them, but they're all 50th anniversary treats that are around the resort.
I loved all the desserts, tasting all the desserts. There was this butterscotch caramel popcorn thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Oh my gosh. It was butterscotch pudding and they put caramel popcorn on top.
And it was like
And-
the caramel popcorn from Germany. Like
Oh.
it was that
Yeah, it
kind
was
of
like
caramel
caramel
popcorn.
couture,
and I
yeah.
see chocolate covered strawberries
Mhm.
Yeah.
with little
Yeah.
50th logo on them. Oh
Yeah,
my
there was
God.
Cupcakes. There was like a tres leche cake. Yeah, there was like a little push cake pop. It was like a push up pop. You know, back
Yeah.
in the day, there was a
Yeah.
popsicles, but it was like filled with layers of cake and frosting and
I think it was supposed to
Whipped
represent the
cream.
Haunted Mansion stretching room.
That sounds
and-
amazing.
Yeah, and that lasted until like I think 10:30.
Okay.
yeah, it was basically all you care to enjoy. Once you were done, you could leave.
Okay.
We retired from the Keys to the Kingdom tour. It was the hot tour. It was a long tour. It was the walking tour.
Yeah. And like we had just flown in the day before and we got up really early because that was the first tour at 8 a.m. And so we had to be there
Oof.
before that.
However, I would recommend doing it early in your trip because by the time we had our next Magic Kingdom day, which was Thursday, I don't think we would have been able to
Okay.
do the full 6-hour tour. So do it when you have the energy. You're usually the next day you're like running on adrenaline, excited, everything. That's when I would do it.
Okay.
And also, the best tip that I can give you is bring neck fans. Like
yeah.
we at the very last minute, like 2 days before we left, I went on Amazon and I ordered these bladeless neck fans, and we lived off of them. Like they were such a lifesaver, and cooling towels. Like
And you charge it with USB. So
Huh.
yeah,
That's
the best
cool.
thing ever in the Florida hot. And they work in Disneyland too, so 2 for 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What about if it rained?
Well, that's a different story.
So take those net fans away.
Yeah.
So yeah, day 2 on our it misted a little bit on day 1, and it drizzled a little bit, but we were able to like take cover in Little Mermaid. I think we went into the Little Mermaid line, and when we came out, it was not raining anymore.
Gone.
However, on Epcot, that was not the case.
Yeah. So let's get into Epcot just in general, right?
Yeah,
So we are going to talk about Epcot because Epcot, I mean, it has been kind of the Epcot getting, what is it? Like, it's just been
It's
under
overhauled.
construction.
It's like
construction
overall
land. So let's just say
central,
yeah.
it's construction
Yeah.
land.
It's crazy. But now they are starting to finally open things up, including Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy, the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, right? So let's just dive into this.
Yes.
Tell me about
You
it.
have to. I mean, okay, so we're like raring to go. We've got our virtual queue up. We've got our world clock going. You know, Rise. You know us and Rise. We're gonna get those virtual lanes, because we've got those fast Rise fingers that we've figured out Rise for a long time. So we've got my phone. Courtney's got the world clock, and we get in to that virtual queue. We get group number like 30 something, 38,
Wow.
40, somewhere on there. And we're like, okay, cool. But we know we're going to run it again. So Courtney gets that individual lightning lane.
Yes.
And our individual lightning lane for a little bit later after our virtual queue, kind of like in the afternoon. And we get called about like
10 o'clock.
10
Was it?
o'clock? No, it was like 11. It was like
Oh yeah, because
11:30.
it broke down. We were supposed to get called at 10, but it did break down, and so
Okay.
we were
It
stuck
got a little
bit.
testy and broke down a little bit. But so when we get called for the virtual queue, you actually get to go through the queue, which is incredible. This queue is so fun. And you know how Rise, like, it starts in the queue? Well, this starts in the queue. Yeah, it starts in the queue as well. So it kind of is this pavilion. It's called the Zandar Pavilion.
Yeah, the wonders of Zandar.
Yeah, the wonders of Zandar. And it's supposed to be like you're in Epcot and you're going to just another pavilion, just like the China pavilion or the Canadian pavilion or the France pavilion. You're just going to another pavilion and you walk in and it feels like you're in kind of some kind of space age museum.
There's this ominous voice that says welcome. and
is it Sigourney Weaver?
No,
more robotic than that. I don't know.
I'm
If
just
Sigourney Weaver.
I wish it was, but actually in another room it's going to be Glenn Close.
But Glenn Close welcomes you and Terry Crews, and we fly off on all kinds of adventures. But back in the queue, it says that it welcomes you to the Zandar Pavilion, and it's like this spacey museum. You are looking up into the galaxy of I don't even know what galaxy it is, but you're looking up into a galaxy, and you're just going through it. It's nice and cool. It's air conditioned. It's all inside.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Basically, and then you come up to this big, like, model of a city, and it's the model of Zandar.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
it's kind of like how you would like go into One Man's Dream, and there's like all these models of like Disneyland and stuff like that, and the Wish. Well, it's the model of Xandar. The Guardians are there. They're being interviewed by the like media, and Chris Star Lord says, I want to go back to Epcot and see the veggie fruit and all this stuff.
Universe of
Wow.
Energy.
Universe of
and-
Energy, kind of doing a throwback of what was in that pavilion before.
Yeah. No
And,
kidding.
You do see the costumes of the Nova Corps for
Oh.
the different levels of the Nova Corps, and there is a couple of models of the ships. There's a big one outside of the pavilion as well that you can take
Yes.
a picture in front of.
That was the only
Um,
thing I saw when I was there.
Because that was the only thing that was open.
Yeah.
And then you go into this like kind of, what do you say? It was kind of like test track where they open the door and you walk through as a big group.
Okay.
And then Glenn Close comes on.
Because you need like 1,000,000 years to get to Xandar. So we don't have 1,000,000 years. So they say we built this thing that'll beam you up, and they beam you up. And it's actually kind of cool because you don't realize that like you're going to be in the spaceship, and because they make it all dark and they kind of like redirect your attention around the room and
Oh.
into the center and looking up, kind of like Haunted Mansion. And then all of a sudden you like feel everything go black and turn back on, and you're in the spaceship.
Whoa.
And,
Like they beamed you
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
And then something
Hey.
happens, something gets stolen.
So the bad guy is a celestial.
Okay.
He's jumping back to the Big Bang to stop all of humanity from being
Oh.
created.
Right.
Right.
He
So
wants to change the timeline.
yeah, because he
or
thinks
something.
we're a waste of space.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the whole reason why you get launched backwards.
And the music starts and you start spinning.
Oh
And
my God.
it's a ride like you wouldn't believe.
Like it's hard to explain.
It's
But if
very
you-
hard to explain.
But if you've been on Crush's roller coaster in Paris, which we have not, but we have been on the Sidewinder, which is at Knott's Berry Farm. It's
Okay.
kind of like that, but this kind of, it doesn't go 360 all the time. It just kind of moves you toward where the action is, and on the track more often than not, you're sideways.
Okay. So now does this go up like upside down at all?
No.
Okay. But it's still thrilling.
you only have
obviously.
a lap bar. So you
Okay.
only have a lap bar like Space Mountain. You don't have like a over the shoulder like Incredible.
Oh, wow.
You only
Okay.
have a lap bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then, like all Guardians of the Galaxy rides, they have different soundtracks. There are 6 possible songs that you can get. They're all rock, but we did get, since we wrote it 4, we did get 4 different songs.
Oh, that's great. So which
yeah,
ones?
yes.
So we got I Ran from the Flock of Seagulls, and then we did get Conga from Gloria Estefan. We got One Way or Another from Blondie, and we did get September from Earth, Wind, and Fire.
So now did these songs give it like different feels for the ride?
Yes.
It did.
Very much so. So like the first time we rode it, we got One Way or Another, which felt very rock, almost like you were on Aerosmith's
Yes.
rock,
Rock and roller coaster.
Very, very rock vibes. Then the next time I think we went on it, or somewhere in there we went on it, and we got Conga, which gave it more of a Latin feel and was like, hey, everybody do the conga.
Yeah. We were just like dancing, rocking out. Like, yeah. September had a really
September was
relaxed-
like a chill, like
Yeah,
vibe.
it was
very
very,
relaxed.
very chill, laid back, like
because
in
the
September.
yeah, because the action going on inside the ride with the Celestial, it's all the same. It never changes.
Okay.
So, but the way with each music, it gives it a different feel.
Yeah.
Like
that would
I've
make
heard
sense.
the Tears for Fears song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, has made people cry on the
Yeah.
ride.
Right.
So I wish we had gotten that one. We were really hoping for that one.
Yeah.
But that's what I've heard. I didn't cry with any of these songs, but they were so fun. They were
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So out of a 10, 1 to 10, what would you give this?
Oh, this is like
It's
a
an
12.
11.
11. I mean,
12 out.
there's no competition.
Right now there isn't. Yeah, right now there's nothing else like it. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
Rise and what's like all the new ones, it has its place. Like Rise is still great and still mind blowing, but this one because it's a roller coaster, there's nothing like it.
I don't even
Okay.
think you can compare Rise and Cosmic Rewind, even though you
Everybody
can, because
Yeah.
it's the newest rides, but they're totally different track systems. And
Yeah.
when you get on the ride, the roller coaster Cosmic Rewind is totally dependent on the music, the feel, the spinning. There is really no storyline that you can kind of pinpoint on in there. Where
Okay.
The story is
Rise-
you're going back in time. Like
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's it.
in the story in Rise, you really have to follow the story.
Right.
The feel of the roller coaster was so smooth, the way that it spins, the way that it pushes you back. Like, we have the pictures from the ride, and like all you see is joy on our faces. Like, there's no, I mean, I have some ride pictures, dinosaur, that Courtney looks scared out of her mind on.
Or even Haunted Mansion, y'all look like bored or something.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
yeah.
I was like, I swear we're not bored. I swear.
We're not bored. I was so hot that I was like going like this, and that's when they took the picture, and that's what it is. But the
This
pictures
one.
on Cosmic Rewind, like, there's just nothing but pure joy on our faces. We
Wow.
are having such a blast, and the hair is flying in your face because you're going backwards, and it's a fun ride. We rode it as many times as we could. We went 2 days to Epcot. You could get one virtual queue, one individual lightning lane per day, and we did both of that. We could ride it 4 times. So
Wow.
I would pay anything for that to come to California. I know. We were like,
Dang
like,
it.
forget the what is
Tower
it? The
of Terror.
Quinjet ride? No, the Quinjet ride.
Yeah.
Let's just get Cosmic Rewind in here, please.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, did you ride that before you rode Remy, the Ratatouille ride?
Remy, it's cute. It's just
Yeah.
it's not for me. I did not. I didn't have a problem with the vehicles, the trackless. That's fine. Even if everybody says like, well, Rise came out first, so now we're going to be like just dissuaded from it. And I'm like, that's not why I was dissuaded from it, because the track system's the same.
Right.
It's a trackless ride system.
Yeah.
And the storyline. Okay, so people are gonna hate me, but like Ratatouille itself is not my favorite movie. But the ride, being the size of a rat and being in a kitchen and getting sprayed in the face with dirty water, dirty mop water, and then have the guy literally grab in your face because he wants you out. I'm not liking that.
You don't like
liking
being
it.
a rat.
Really care.
No, I didn't like being a rat.
Okay.
It was not for me. I thought the premise was really very cute, and they did a great job with it being 3D, and it was a very well themed ride, but it was just not for me.
Ratatouille is not my favorite movie either. I have to say, and I did enjoy the ride. However, I didn't enjoy all the smells.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Like, I could have enjoyed the ride without all the smells. They try to make it look smell like you're in a kitchen, and for me,
And kitchens
that's
are not
just-
exactly the most pleasant smelling place all the time.
Not all the time, especially at the bottom of the underneath the sink or something. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the whole onion smell or tomatoes.
Okay.
So I was like, I could do without the smell. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's just preference for me. The ride is cute, and I think it was a good addition to France because it needed something.
Yes.
It needed another ride, and I'm glad we got another ride. But yeah, I just would rather not it be like 40, I guess.
Yeah, and we were saying we would probably use Genie Plus to skip the line. Like we would not wait in line for it. No,
Okay.
at all.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's voting with your time, right?
Yeah.
Voting with your time.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on then from the fake food to the real food in Epcot. I see that you guys I've been following you guys on Instagram, Neverland Clubhouse Pod. When you were there, you posted in stories a lot. You posted a bunch of photos and things. People can go check that out. But what food did you experience?
Well, at first for lunch, we did eat at the Creperie, the new restaurant there, in the New France section next to Remy, and it is actually like one of the best deals on property. If you like crepes, it is a 3-course meal, a lunch and dinner, and it's only like $30 a person, and you get a salad, you get an entree crepe, and you get a dessert crepe.
Ooh. Wow. So the crepes, do they have Nutella?
The dessert one did, yes.
Okay.
It's not called Nutella. It's called hazelnut spread.
Well,
Because I think it is homemade or made in house.
Oh.
I don't think it is Nutella. It was
Okay.
tasted a little different. But yeah, they do have hazelnuts.
And they do have like a little window outside that you can get it. Like, so if you don't get a reservation or they're busy.
So if you don't want like the 3-course meal, you could get just like individual a la carte crepes.
Crepes, okay.
At the window.
That's fun. I've never eaten there before, so that's
I got a ham and cheese and egg entree crepe.
yummy.
And Kelly, you got
I got
what
like
was
the
it called?
chicken Alfredo. There was like chicken and Alfredo sauce.
It had a bechamel
and-
sauce in it.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
like a bechamel sauce, and then it was
It had mushrooms in it. She didn't like that.
Well, I asked for no mushrooms. The guy didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to me about the tomatoes in the salad either. But that's okay. But it was good. It was really filling. The dessert crepe was I had just the simple Nutella crepe.
And I think I had a banana one. I had a banana.
Yeah, you had a
caramel
banana
one.
caramel one. And it was the caramel sauce was really good on yours.
You guys are making me hungry, and now you're gonna make me hungry in space.
Yes, because we did get the coveted Space 220 reservation. We had to get up at 3:00 in the morning to get this reservation.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to do that in a couple months.
Yeah.
All right. So you get shot up into space, right?
Yes, you do get to take an elevator to space, and it is the entrance to this is very hidden. It is on the right side of mission space. So you have to go in there, and there's this little kiosk, and you go, "Hey, I got a reservation," and they say, "Okay, here's your ticket to go up to space." And then they take you into an elevator, and you get to see the floor and the ceiling. It basically shows you lifting off from Earth, and you get shot up to the space station. And that was really cool. It was super fun. No, it really was. It was super fun to do that. And then when you walk in there, that's when you see like the space lettuce, like how they like are growing the food inside.
Hydroponic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Whatever,
So this is also like kind of as another pavilion at Epcot?
Well, I don't know how they're like hiding it, because like there's not this like big restaurant like hovering in the air. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I don't know how they hid it unless they built it downwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Haunted Mansion here.
Interesting.
so
They could have.
It's not like it doesn't ruin the sightline. Like it looks like it didn't change
Okay.
at all. But there's an elevator that you do go into, and it does take you. Like there's multiple elevators.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the top and you go out, get to the restaurant, they seat you, and then there's this big LED screen all around, and you are in space, and you're looking at the top of the Earth.
Wow.
And while you're sitting there, every once in a while, there's like a satellite that goes by, people in spacesuits. It just stuff that keeps your attention.
We saw the lightsaber guys.
Yeah.
Everybody playing with the lightsabers.
They were fighting with lightsabers.
You get to see different ships.
Wow. Does it look like
Typically
you're
the mission spaceships.
Okay. Does it look like you're like rotating kind of slowly?
It does, kind of look
No,
like you're
well,
rotating.
I didn't feel like it was rotating.
It
around.
does because the Earth moves.
Okay.
Does it? Okay.
We'll get to that because why I don't remember.
Courtney forgot she was in space.
Something I feel like they need to update the screen and make something happen.
Okay.
Kind of like Rainforest Cafe, where every once in a while there's a rainstorm and the animals go crazy.
Oh.
It needs something like that because it's very quiet up there because it's fancy dining. It is and so nothing makes noise. But you
Okay.
do, I guess you do turn and things go by. But you can very well get lost in conversation or just forget that there's a screen there. Because a lot of people once they took their pictures, like and was over the initial wow.
Right.
There was a lot of, talking amongst each other and not a whole lot of like, wow, I'm in space. You know what I mean? So I
Okay.
feel like they need to update the screen, have something happen, have one of those fake drill, like, oh no, we're being attacked by something. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, I know it's not supposed to be Star Wars, but like definitely they had people playing with lightsabers out there. So,
That's cute.
Well,
Wow.
I think to Courtney's point, it doesn't grab your attention. So when your waiter comes and brings you your food and you're eating, but something's happening, like some new thing is happening, you're not made aware of it. So it's like there's no noise to make you aware that something new is happening. There's no everybody look or anything like that. Or it's just kind of like if you glance over there might happen to be
I get
something.
it. Right, because there's a vacuum in space, so there's no sound.
Exactly.
Okay.
So nothing is truly catching your attention. So if you are with a group of people and you're engrossed in a conversation, or you're really hungry, so you're not really paying attention, you're just kind of eating.
Yeah.
You could easily miss everything that's in front of you, especially if you're not quite at a table that's directly in front of what's happening, because there are tables off to the side or tables kind of around the side. So I think it's very easily to forget that you are up in space in the room. I think a lot of people weren't really paying attention. So that's just kind of where that goes.
Interesting.
But it's a fantastic restaurant. I had very good food. I ordered the salmon. I think
it was the best food we had for dinner.
Yeah.
All trip.
Oh, that's
good.
And
it's a 3-course meal as well. So
yeah. And I had the steak. Steak was wonderful. Potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes.
Is it like a prefix menu that you kind of pick?
Yeah.
The various.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had like a Caesar salad, like a wedge salad for appetizer. And I think the dessert was like a strawberry shortcake. It was like
I believe
it was like an air cake. It was kind of like what you described on
the Chandrilla
Halcyon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like little puff balls or something.
Yeah, it was strawberry shortcake. It was very space age. And it tasted pretty good. It did.
Well, it was probably developed by the same people.
Probably.
They
moonlight on the Chandrilla star line.
Yeah, it was worth the money for the food because the food was excellent. But the ambiance that you're waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning to go and do was a little lackluster, I think.
Okay.
But this was also the day that it poured down rain.
Oh no.
And we were not prepared for poured down rain.
I almost think that we almost missed our Space 220 reservation because it was pouring down rain and we were stuck in Figment.
Oh no.
Like if it was just like rain like we have here, like we probably could have walked and be fine. But this was pouring down torrential down rain with ankle deep water that you had to walk through. I was wearing my Scarlet Witch ears and Joy, and I have a Scarlet Witch dress from Hawaiian Pizza Apparel, and it was soaked.
It was soaked.
Uh,
I had on my Spider-Man Marvel blue top and some shorts. I was soaked. And so I was like, well, okay, we're not going to make it to the land. Because the land's over on the other side. So let's duck into Figment here. And we ducked under, but we were soaking wet. So we were kind of like in the entryway, aisleway. And they were kind of like, okay, well, you can't just stand there. So you have to go on the ride if you're going to stand here. And we were like, but we're like,
Do you want us to?
soaked.
Because we're soaked. I guess they're used to it because they didn't bat an eye.
Yeah.
No, they were like, go get on the ride. And we were like, okay, well, at least it's air conditioned and we can kind of cool off and
but then you get
dry
cold.
Exactly.
yeah, then you get
go
kind of cold. And you know, the big puff of air, it kind of
Yeah.
dries you a little bit. So then we go into where, you know, they have all the children's play stuff after Figment,
Yes.
where you can kind of play music or play the piano or do all that kind of
Meet
stuff. And we
Joy
kind of like,
and Vanellope.
yeah, and we
them.
kind of like just kind of stood around because everybody says wait about 20 minutes and the rain will be gone. And we're like, okay, well, we could just kind of like sit in here for a little while, let the rain kind of do its thing. And meanwhile,
But
we had
at this
our
time,
lightning lanes.
yeah, we're sitting on 2 lightning lanes and a reservation
Oh.
at Space 220.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Let's give it like 10 minutes. So I give it like 10 minutes.
not letting
we're kind of it's not letting up. It's not letting up. And we're like in a store, and the store is like packed with people because
No one wants to go out
it's raining
there.
outside. It is also the Disney Vacation Club like lounge entrance. So everybody's
Oh.
trying to get up into the lounge.
Okay.
So we finally decide, okay, well, if we can make it to the land, we can at least go on our lightning lanes in the land, and then we can go on soaring, and then we can do that Planet Earth show, just kind of like bide some time.
Yeah.
Because we still had quite a while before our Space 220 reservation. And so I was like, well, we got to bite the bullet and buy these ponchos.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's no other way to do it. So we bought the ponchos, get the ponchos on, got it over the ears, got it over the backpack, got it over everything. We step out, and again, we're walking in ankle deep water.
Yeah.
By the time we got to Space 220, I think we were drowned
Done.
rats at that point.
Yeah.
And we didn't quite look like we were
Like you
going to a
wanted to.
fancy dinner.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
like,
think
well,
they're
this is
used
the
to
way.
it, though, but
And mind
I was
you,
like, oh my
after
God.
dinner, we still had Remy. So we
Yes.
still
Oh,
had to go
wow.
on Remy.
Oh my God.
And then we were like, we're done. We're going home.
We can't do harmonious tonight. We're not in the right frame of mind.
Right.
So we went back to the hotel.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Woo. Well, that was a
Yeah.
crazy first 2 days.
It really
It was insane first 2 days.
So wow. So that was like just your first 2 days and like such amazing experiences there. And you know what? You have so much more to tell me, but I feel like we need to break this up into a part 1 and a part 2. So we're going to wrap up this episode here and then look for on your feeds in a little bit in August, a part 2.
Then we still have Cirque du Soleil to talk about, Mickey and Minnie's Railway, all that. Drawn to Life. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We have to talk about Drawn to Life. And that could be a full episode in itself.
Right. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, we have reached the end of this part 1 episode, but we do want to hear from you. Do you have questions for Courtney and Kelly about Walt Disney World? I'm going in November, the Skywalking Network, Richard and I. So I'm going to hit you guys up with like what to reserve, all this stuff. I've got all kinds of questions for you. So if you guys have questions for them, please let us know. So we're on Instagram at Neverland Clubhouse Pod. And yeah, that's where you can message us, DM, all of that. And yeah, we
we'd
want to
love
hear from you.
answer your questions. If you have specific things that you want to hear about too, we can totally dive more deep into everything.
Definitely. Yeah. And also head to smallworldvacations.com And tell
Yeah, we
them that
use them.
Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. Yes, because they all this whole trip booked through
Yes,
them, right?
thank you, Marion. She helped us through book everything, and she's still helping us with our cruises and all of that good stuff. And we might be doing Universal too. So stay tuned.
Woo! Super fun.
And we also want to give a big shout out and thank you to Rob Dellinger for composing our theme song. To hear more of Rob's work and to see where he'll be playing next, please go to his website, alpharhythmkings.com.
We are part of the Skywalking Network, Skynet, where you can also find other great shows like Skywalking Through Neverland,
Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Today in Star Wars History and Collectopolis.
You can check out all the Skywalking Network podcasts and articles at skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
You can find us on social media at Neverland Clubhouse Pod, at CLT8622, at Kelly Turkel, and at Jedi Tink, and on Facebook at Kelly Turkel and Courtney Turkel.
You can also find us in the Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group. Just search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group. Request to join and then answer the questions that pop up. Do it or we can't let you in. All right then, second star to the right and straight on till morning. Join us for our next adventure from the Neverland Clubhouse.